The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
And they got the win, so I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
They'll run for the first time now with James White. And they are not going to let him turn the corner. Some serious pressure right out of the gate. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Well, the first play in the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, here's Newton. It's caught in here by Will Snead. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, it's Newton. He's going to take off with it. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there'll be design runs as well as his scrambles.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Newton. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Matt Judon, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So now after the sack, Cam and the Patriots going to look up at a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Newton. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Hamler now on the return. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The reigning league MVP Lamar Jackson trotting onto the field and leading the way now in his 3rd season in the National Football League as this Baltimore offense gets set to go.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on 3rd down. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down. But one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They run again on first down. Chubb. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 18 carries, 95 yards, and a score.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, 10 is really the goal, and this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense to try and get him in there at least twice in this game.
From the 41, Jackson steps away to his left. Man open left side is Brown. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 16. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Partner, when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
On the carry, it's Chubb. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily soft.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Nick Chubb, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Ravens have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum down.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Newton. Caught by Snead over the middle. In a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Ravens 7, Patriots 3.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football. And they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
It's a big play there for Baltimore. 54 yards.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
Now Jackson on first down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but now it'll be third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Chubb. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They'll try again with Chubb. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Nick Chubb with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken in the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. New England trying to get a place on offense.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Another try after the first down sack. Newton, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. New England on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. First down, here's White. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Let's go, man. 3rd and 16. That dude running by himself.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. From the 41, Newton. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
Oh. Ooh.
They get the guard out of Georgia Tech, Shaq Mason. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Devin Duvernay, the intended receiver.
And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and he'll force the incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Play action. It's Jackson. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Play action. Now Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brown. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. They go play action now. Jackson. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. So simple math here in the 1st half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the 2nd half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Newton.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he's going to have a 1st down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Being chased out left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this 1st half.
Take over 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
And that one will be no
That was
good.
on
He
me.
never
I
had
should
it
just
on line.
ran
It's
out
well
of
wide to the left. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we... You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Ravens ready to receive it. And they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the 2nd half. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson.
Ah.
Takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the 1st drive of the 2nd half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Here we go on 4th down with Jackson. Forced out to his left. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. This is something that we saw quite a bit at Oklahoma, and we'll be seeing it more and more on the NFL level as well. Marquise Brown going Hollywood.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the final clocking on the next-gen stats there. How about this? 22.1 miles per hour. Wow.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. From the 22, Jackson. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. A couple of 3rd-year guys, couple of Pro Bowlers. Jackson to Andrews for the Ravens first. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Nick Chubb, his third touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Tucker with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On first down, Newton.
And that'll be caught by the tight end, Keene.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
On the move to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Calais Campbell in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be fourth down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage is excellent downfield.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them, and they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 29, Jackson firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
One of the best routes, one of the favorite routes of any play caller. He just ran that one. Nice little angle route. That's supposed to be a catch, and usually it is, and the running back dropped it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a running back, but he's got hands. He should have caught it. From the gun on third down, Jackson. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Oh, Lamar Jackson just so electric, Charles, when he gets into open space, and we saw Exhibit A right there.
You know something? I'm standing up here in the booth next to you watching the play, He buckled my ankles on that one as well. It doesn't matter whether you're actually on the field trying to chase him or you're just watching him play. This guy is sheer excitement.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Jackson now.
Oh, he
This
threw
one
that
is
crazy.
incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
On 3rd down, Jackson completes it to Samuel. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we see both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Taking it in from the 20, and the Ravens will add on to their lead. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier, now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. But you said 3 rushing touchdowns, and of course throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
New England trying to get a place on offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take it for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to...
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Chris Manhurts. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots score closer. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, 1 play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, 1 play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
And he bangs it home. It makes it now 35-13 our score. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. 1 play, 75 yards, 6 points. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coach just tell us
You didn't
what
put
we
them in
score
there.
on special teams. 93%.
I know you see all them waters on top of that.
I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Officially,
Yes,
it's a
12,
1-yard
24
loss.
pad right
That's going
there,
to
and
bring
then
up
you got the
second
one
and
on top.
11.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Jackson. Rolling to his right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And it'll be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down at will.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey.
Oh, get out of here.
Devin McCourty picks it off.
I did not throw that short.
Past the 20-yard line.
He should have caught that in the back corner of the end zone. Not the ball drop down, you know?
They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to
That's bull crap.
Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter.
Newton and the Patriots with a 1st and 10
at their own 24. Now following the interception, here's Newton. On the left side, a catch by White. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the 24-yard line.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. From the gun, Newton. Brought in left side by Snead. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started. And that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty. And before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Sonny Michel won't get there. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, at this stage of the game in the 2nd half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off.
I got a block, man. Y'all look confused. Y'all picked them 2 up. I'm gone.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
You got 2 X factors out there deep.
They go play
action with Jackson. Taking a shot for Samuel.
Oh my goodness, man. This is wide open. Why are you overthrowing him?
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And he can't get away. Newton can't escape the pressure, and it's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? That's what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, giving him a little dab. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Second and a yard.
They run it again with Chubb, and he is met quickly in the backfield.
I guess that guy in front of him wasn't there. He just ran right through him and tackled him.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And they're going to mark him down short. Maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Chubb on the counter, and not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Jackson. And this is what he cannot throw, they say. Looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And he's got some space here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Off play action. Jackson buying time to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. Steps away. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And oh, it's no good on the P.
Let's go. Want to get April her snack? She waiting on you. It's on already in the little scoop. You just got to pick it up. It's in there, but it's got food in it. Pick it up.
Great, I'm on a heart attack. I'm on a heart attack, honey. I'm not even on a heart attack. I'm in the desert. I'm dead.
Did you take your nitro?
Yeah.
So they can't get on here. And our score's going to stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining. Back to the air, Newton on second down. That's complete into the hands of Myers. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. One last throw here for Newton. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Baltimore, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for New England, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.